Welcome back to AfricaCom television. Of course, we are at AfricaCom and AfricaTech, which is the event of AfricaCom, where we're accelerating the enterprise digital transformation on the African continent. And joining me now is Arnauld Blondet, who is the Chief Innovation Officer for Africa and Middle East with the company Orange. Lovely to have you at AfricaCom TV.
Me too. I'm very happy to discuss with Africa.
Thank you. You participated in a panel on 5G killer applications on the African continent. Do these things exist, and what are they?
So first, a few words on 5G maybe, and 5G for Orange. Orange is in Europe and Africa, Middle East, and 5G is of course a key topic as a key operator in the world. We have launched already commercially 5G in Europe. We launched 5G in Romania last week, so it's very recent. And we already launched it commercially in many countries, and we plan to do it quite quickly in the coming months. For about 5G in Africa, we think the topic is still a bit early, and we want to first, as a customer point of view, focus on 4G. Let's have 4G generation happen and grow big enough. Even if we prepare all the capabilities, enablers and solution for a 5G topic in the coming years.
And is that what you'd advise business leaders and government leaders, that if you're on the African continent, rather start the preparation work, focus more on 4G, make sure it's efficient and as widely available as possible, prepare for 5G, and only when you're ready do you then put it in place?
Well, to be very clear on 5G, the key, the one who decide when we will do 5G is the government. So we need spectrum and we need a regulation with license. So as long as this is not done by the government, 5G won't happen in these countries. So we need the path to be done by governments, which is quite important for us. And then once we have this path cleared enough, there are lots of things that we need to work on to ensure that 5G is not one more ideas for techies, but really something useful for the populations.
Because that's the only way you can justify investment in 5G, right? The technology, while available commercially in Europe already, is still brand new for the African context. So therefore, it will come at a premium price. And if you are a Minister of Telecommunications in a country and you need to convince government and Treasury that they need to make money available for this rollout of infrastructure, you better have a good business case.
The key question on 5G is, can we afford? Can the customer afford a device which are more than $1,000 each? Can the customer afford a new generation of service? Because the interest of 5G is to use new application, but also for mobile operators, can we afford to have this 5G now? We need spectrum, we need regulation, we need license which are very affordable, and this is quite key for us to go on the next steps.
I'll ask the counter question then.
Yeah.
Can they afford not to invest in 5G?
Yes, clearly, because we have a lot of investment coming and still coming for 4G. We see that even in South Africa, it's good because we are not in Orange is not in South Africa, so I can criticize easily. We still have, even in South Africa, some work to do on 4G as an operator, because there are still areas where it's not covered. We have still difficulties to get the signal. And what we think is that we need still to focus on 4G to enhance the customer journey and to really answer the customer needs.
What role will 5G ultimately play in creating a better digital world, if you like, for the African continent?
Okay, so when I said that we need first to focus on something else, also 5G will be the next fantastic generation for anybody in the world.
Yeah.
So it's open to IoT, it's open to industrialized use, it's open to virtual reality, augmented reality. We will invent new services thanks to 5G. Latency is much better, so it's really a big shift of generation between 4G and 5G. So we are very happy to support this 5G generation, but it will take time. We really need all the market and all the conditions to be lower in terms of cost, so that it happens to Africa.
From a consumer point of view, I must say I'm praying for that to happen a lot sooner rather than later.
So one point, the question is, what is the killer application for Africa? What we see and what we foresee is that the killer application will be fixed home broadband.
Nice.
In Africa, we have very little fiber home broadband, and we see, even if we see the need and the coming need happening in Africa, so we really think that 5G the killer app for 5G in Africa will be home broadband.
And will that be available beyond just the urban centers, the Cape Town, Johannesburg, Nairobi, Lagos, beyond those urban centers?
Yes, this is the target. The target of 5G is to have a mobile coverage which gives the capability to use fixed mobile broadband. So at home you will have a box not plugged to any fiber or whatever, which gives you more or less the capability of fiber in any country. So thanks to that, 5G has a real value for countries and for areas in Africa where there is no fixed broadband. 5G will replace fixed broadband.
Fantastic. Your impressions of AfricaCom so far?
I've lived in AfricaCom for years and years, so this is my best area to share Africa and African needs, and of course the new technology. So I'm very, very happy to be here and talking to Mr. Africa. This is my best time in the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Arnauld Blondet is the Chief Innovation Officer for Africa and Middle East at Orange. Thank you very much for having us, for rather coming to us here at Africa.
Thank you.
Thank you.